So we're with Rica. How long have you worked here?
I have worked here 20 years.
And
Which I
what
can't believe.
exactly is resident services? For people that have just popped on and watching a little bit about Berkeley Square, what is resident services?
Well, Shelley, that's a big question because resident services really entails anything and everything. So, which is what I enjoy. Resident services can be anything from I'm unhappy with my lawn in the backyard to I really need some more help in my home. What do I do? You know, and I may come out and see what we can do, whether it be a little bit more assistance or what they need. It could just be, I have a great idea for activities. There's so many different things that resident services is. So, you know, for instance, I may have a great plan of what I'm going to do for the day, but it will always change no matter what. So when I get a phone call, I could be, you know, running down for something like that. It could be a family member calling and saying, I haven't been able to reach mom for 24 hours. Can somebody please check on her?
Yeah.
So it's a
That's
lot.
awesome. I tell people all the time, like, I help you move in, but once you're here forever, you will work with Rica on all kinds of things, little and big. There's no question too small, too big.
Right.
Resident Services is here for the residents that live at Berkeley Square. So tell everybody where you're from. I always tease that you're our hometown girl. Where are you?
I am. I was born and raised here in Hamilton.
And your family, you have how many kids?
I have 3 children. I have 2 boys and a girl, which they are adults now.
So everybody that watching this, like if something about Rica we don't know, like what would you be doing on a Saturday for fun, not for work,
Right.
for fun? What do you like to do?
You know, I like to do I love to travel. So that's probably my favorite thing to do. If I could, I would travel everywhere, Europe, the States. I just love to do that. I love to explore new places. But I like to do fun things too. You know, we have our great river here in town, and not that I do it every weekend, but I love to row on the river. It's fun. Bike ride.
Oh,
you
I
know.
forgot. That's your secret thing.
What's that?
You are in the dragon boats.
We have done that 2 years.
Tell
Yes.
about that. Talk about what the dragon boats are.
So the dragon boat race is something that actually started in China, and they're boats that hold about 22 people, and it is rowing. The fun thing about dragon boats is in this race you can either be someone who races, you know, every week, or you can be someone who just does it for the first time. So that's what I love about it. It's just getting people in the city together.
That's so fun.
And just having a great day. So it's, you know, just one day a year, and you usually race 4 times. And
that's
it can
so
be
fun.
friends in a boat. It can be companies have gotten boats together. So it's just a great day on the river here in Hamilton.
So fun. Talk about the staff at Berkeley. Like if you've been here 20 years, so what would you say about the team? I have heard this in the last few days, just of chatting with people, that during COVID, oddly, our residents, our families, our staff, we are all closer, if that's possible. The blessing in all of this is you're 10 times closer than you were to your team and to these families.
Yes, absolutely. We're like the glue that has to stick together right now. And everybody, you know, yes, you're doing your job you were doing before, but you're doing a lot of other jobs too. So that's a big difference. But I just think the staff is here because they care so much.
Why do you stay? Why do you stay 20 years?
It's definitely for the residents. We have so many different residents, and I learn from the residents. I love to, you know, be able to help them and do things for them, but I really feel like, you know, it's really a two-way thing here. I mean, I feel like I gain a lot from them also.
You're involved a lot in the programs and activities prior to COVID. Talk about Berkeley programming and activities, and what are some of the highlights they like to do? What are you seeing?
Well, how long do you have?
I have a long time. Tell me everything.
I think we have a tremendous program here with activities and events, and we have a lot inside, a lot off campus. But I will tell you of all, you know, we do a variety of things such as happy hours and buffets. We do painting and cooking classes. We have people that come speak. We have ILR, which is Learning in Retirement, which is part of Miami University. We have great groups like photography, our Veterans Club, our book club. So we have so many, great things. But I will say, what our residents really enjoy the most is just being together. And that's kind of what they miss the most right now, is being able to get together in a room with all their friends, meeting new residents that move in. And food is a huge part of living here. So if you have food, they will come, I always say.
So the elephant in the room is COVID. And I would say many people watching this really want to know not what's on the news, but what have you seen? COVID is this terrible pandemic that doesn't happen. We haven't seen in 100 years. So how has it affected you and your role and your residents?
Well, I think obviously the folks that are living inside our main building really need a lot more right now. You have to understand, many of them, they're in their rooms, most of the day. We try to do as much as we possibly can to get out a little bit here and there. But there are a lot of strict rules and limitations for them. So the biggest thing is making sure we touch base with everybody. We have independent living, assisted living, and healthcare all in this main building. So they're all kind of living under those same rules. And obviously the hardest thing is, not being able to have their family come in every day. And really, so the communication is extremely important, which I think that Community First has done a great job of communicating with families, letting them know what's happening this week. We send out a weekly newsletter, we have pictures, and this is what's happening. And so we really try to do a great job of that. We try to know that, people can call at any time too. I mean, my cell phone is out there. If somebody needs to call off hours, then they can definitely do that. And I think that right now, that is one of the things, is that, we're always, even when we're at home, we're still kind of at work, concerned that, about this resident, something that may be going on. So it's something that we just carry with us, I think, a lot more right now than we did before.
I think one of the things that I admire the most about you is you can live anywhere and staff are nice. But I think people don't realize how attached, how like family you become. And you kind of are the leader of that as resident services. Like, you are the model for all of us as I have worked here. Just the things that people don't know you do, that favorite hamburger you run and get, seeing you in the grocery store on an afternoon on your lunch break for someone else. Like, I think those are the stories that get lost in the offices of resident services. You truly become their, like, we are in a pandemic and we are social distancing, but we're doing it together as this Berkeley family.
Oh,
and that is because of your role modeling that behavior. Like, you walk the walk.
Well, and Shelley, you are right there with me. I mean,
yeah, we love
all,
it.
We are all doing that together. And I think that, again, that's part of what the team is. If one person can't get to it, another person might be able to.
So I've asked everybody this. If you had to describe Berkeley Square in one word, and this is funny because I did this at Westover, a lot of people said the same answer, so it's just my curiosity. If you had one description for Berkeley Square, what would you say?
I really think I would have to say community.
Community.
I just feel, and I say it all the time when people move in, we have a wonderful community. I mean, it's a building, but it's the feeling.
Yep.
It's a feeling of being there for each other. When you move in, the neighbors are so great, and you become friends with your neighbors. And I still say a lot of folks actually meet their best friends when they move here. You just never know how old you might be when you really meet that best friend.
So your last question's a hard one. I need you to think in 20 years about a time or something that a person, a resident, a staff, a moment in time that was your aha moment, like, this is why I do what I do. Like, whether you're an employee thinking about working here, a resident thinking about moving here, someone out in the community. What was that moment in time that you're like, I remember when, and this was my aha moment, I'll never forget?
Well, First of all, being here 20 years, I'm sure you know there has to be more than one aha
Yeah,
moment.
you got to tell me one though. You got to just give me one.
So I think what gives me the most satisfaction, you know, if I can, is really, and I have to kind of say two things a little bit. I'm sorry. One is kind of hard. But one is a lot of folks when they move here, they're looking for a sense that of their worth, and that they still want to feel like they're helping folks. And so I think, because I'm a little bit involved also with volunteering here at Berkeley. So I've worked with some folks that have really found some volunteer jobs that just make them feel, it gives them a reason to wake up in the morning. And they're so happy to be able to do that.
That second chapter of life, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think that's a big part of it. And just being able to be there for somebody. You know, I've had instances where they've called 911, they've gone out to the hospital, and their family lives an hour away, or they live further. And, you know, a few times I've gone with them because I know they're very scared. And, you know, being in that, you know, room with them, and then the family gets there and they're so appreciative. And I don't feel like it's that much that I've done.
Right.
But I can tell in their eyes that they were grateful that somebody was there with mom or dad.
Yeah, it's in the little things. Somebody said yesterday, it's not the big things. It's not the house or the lake. It is. It's a beautiful lake.
Yeah.
But it's in the details. It's in the little things.